Hi everybody, welcome back to our next episode of the New Horizons cooking class. Tammy and I are here, and today's episode is on Essex County tomatoes. We're going to show you a few different varieties of tomatoes so we can get accustomed to those, and at the same time we'll make some quick dishes and some quick meals with our local fresh tomatoes. Okay guys, well we're going to go through a couple of the varieties of tomatoes here. We brought some Roma tomatoes, we brought some beefsteak and some rounds, also known as rounds, but the beefsteak is still a larger version of a round tomato. And of course our cherry tomatoes, okay? And Essex County is one of the biggest producers in all of Canada of any of the tomatoes, and we grow some of the best ones due to our soils and such. Heirlooms, I don't know if anybody knows the difference between an heirloom tomato and a standard tomato, but most of these are not heirlooms. Most of your heirloom tomatoes, which is basically at least a 50, 60-year-old variety of tomato, that the seed itself is still a true strain that hasn't been crossbred with anything else. So some of the heirloom tomatoes that are out there right now, if you get a chance to try them, please do. They're some of the best original varieties in the area. In the meantime, we're going to do a few different dishes here. We're going to show you one of the quickest pasta sauces made from the cherry tomato, which is a wonderful dish. You can make it up very quickly in good summertime, doesn't heat the house, 15 minutes and you're ready to eat. We're going to do some stuffed baked. And at the same time, we're also going to do a few of the stuffed tomatoes that are for salads. And make a nice little coleslaw, you stuff it in the tomato, and the next time you get invited to a picnic, that's something you can bring them all. Now what Tammy is doing is Tammy's going to mix together, we have some breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese. We chopped up some red pepper, green pepper, and what else we put in? We put in some zucchini. We're going to put in a little bit of salt, we're going to put in a little bit of pepper. Okay. Now we're going to take that and we're going to use that as our stuffing for our baked tomatoes.
Just like that.
If it's a little bit dry, you can always put in a little bit of olive oil into the actual bowl.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
okay, and I just drizzle a little bit on top.
Perfect.
Just to help with the browning.
That'll make it happy. You know I'm all about happy in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
Even when you're mad.
Now the smaller ones are a little bit of a pain, but you'll find a nice rich flavor to the Romas. They stuff very nicely. They bake off really well.
I'll clean this up a little bit.
Okay.
And then these are going in the oven for how long though?
225, 250, probably about 30 minutes, and just keep an eye out on them after about 20. You can do a cover if you want to do a cover. Halfway through the cooking, you can go back in and sprinkle a little of the topping back on. With the Parmesan and everything, I don't put it in immediately. If you did put it on at the beginning of the cooking, maybe hit it with a little bit of a food spray, a vegetable spray, just to keep it from burning.
Nice.
And that's our stuff.
How easy was that?
Okay. Now we're going to be moving on. We're going to do a stuffing, and we're going to do a mixed stuffing of cabbage, red pepper, green pepper, onion, and make yourself a quick coleslaw. I don't know if you make coleslaw from scratch, but if you make your own coleslaw, a little bit of oil. We're going to need a little bit of sugar, salt and pepper. We're going to mix this one in together, and we're going to use that as our filling. A nice little salad boat in our tomatoes.
Whoop-a.
Nicely done, Bill. Look, he's a klutz on TV too, not just in real life. So we're going to take our hollowed out shells that we did earlier. Give them a little stuffing. Now you can go as fun as you like. I don't usually go too much smaller than that for size. And give them a good pushing down. And of course the key to this dish is that when it's all done, we're going to sprinkle with a little bit of feta.
So one's a hot dish and one's a cold dish.
Absolutely. Right? Hot tomatoes, cold tomatoes, again, we should be eating and celebrating our
Yes.
wonderful tomatoes of Essex County.
Definitely.
Farmers do a great job for us in growing. And there's our stuffed tomato. This dish is the, as I said, it's the cherry tomato pasta, summertime, 10-15 minutes. It really doesn't take long to cook. We've already pre-cooked our noodles, so we're just gonna show you, we did them al dente. But I wanna show you, we're just finishing up right now the cherry tomatoes, which literally were put into a pan, olive oil. We're gonna put a little bit of garlic. We're gonna scrape some garlic in there. And you just let them simmer until you see them starting to explode. The whole secret behind this particular recipe is as fresh as you can make them, as high in sugar content. So you're just gonna keep them nice and saucy like that. So your main flavor that's gonna come through is your garlic and the tomato. Now I'm just gonna add a little bit of oregano, a little bit of basil. Oh, about a teaspoon. And sprinkle a little bit of basil. Okay, so we're gonna finish off our pasta. We cooked up a few sausages to go along with this dish. You can do chicken, you can do a pork chop, whatever you like. Well, of course you can go vegetarian. The whole concept behind this dish is to try to keep a good fresh tomato flavor, which you get from the cherry tomatoes. Light garlic, little basil, little bit of oregano. Let's get it plated. Okay, so there's your plated cherry tomatoes in pot with pasta. And we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese over the top. If you have some fresh basil,
Oh, I got a piece for you, Bill.
some fresh, wonderful. Finish off the dish. Thank you very much for joining us. Please make sure that you try more and more dishes with tomatoes, especially local tomatoes when they're in season. Ask your stores that you purchase from. You're looking for a field tomato, preferably over a greenhouse at this time of year. During the winter, your greenhouse, of course, they're a fine tomato, but during the summer, look for a good summer field tomato. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.